One. How's it going, guys? Mr. Steiner here from Connections, and we got Miss Hannah, and we're also got utensils, measuring stuff. We're in our little class kitchen here. We're going to show you guys some stuff that we need or use while we're making our recipes and doing our cooking at home. We got a lot of different stuff, and like we say, some stuff might be review, but it's good to know what we're talking about and get a little refresher course. That way, if we say, hey, go grab your measuring cup, go grab your spoon or your spatula, you know what we're talking about. Let's start off with our measuring stuff. So we use our measuring stuff for all the recipes I think that we usually make. We have stuff for liquid. If we need to measure liquid like water or milk, we have our liquid measuring cups. So Hannah's gonna show you, we have different sizes here. We have our 1 cup, we have our 2 cup, and then if we wanna get fancy, we got a big old 4 cup measuring cup, or 1 liter, depending on where you're at in the world. Okay? Dry measuring cups are used for things like rice or beans or sugar, things like that. And we use flour. We use our dry measuring cups. So we got a couple of assortments of those. When we get into our smaller measurements of stuff like salt or a spice, something like that, I think I remember a student saying that they made their own dry rub. These type of little measuring teaspoons or tablespoons, those little measuring spoons will help you with what you're doing there. So these are measuring spoons.
So like 2 baking soda, baking powder if you're baking.
Awesome, awesome. Now let's move on to, well, if you mix things, let's go ahead and you need a mixing bowl, right? So we got things like mixing bowl here, a big old bowl. We got a whisk, right? Whisk, making cakes, making anything that you need to beat up.
Spatula?
Spatula, right? Baking spatula. That's to get all the stuff inside of it out. We have our regular spatula. We used one of these today. We made grilled cheese. Common silverware items that we use on a daily basis, right?
So you have your knife, your butter knife.
Sharp knife, steak knife.
You have your fork and your spoon.
Some other things we make are pasta here, right? So when we're draining things with pasta, we need a strainer. So here we have a nice little white strainer we use here.
And then,
we have our fancy cheese grater here. Different kinds of, different ways to slice the cheese. Different recipes sometimes call for different thicknesses of cheese. There you go.
Yours at home might just be a flat cheese grater. Same thing, just looks different.
Okay. If we're using our utensils like knives and stuff, we have our cutting board here.
So you don't want to cut on your kitchen counter. It's best to use a cutting board or a plate if you have one, but a cutting board is probably the best option.
They come in hard like Miss Hannah had, or the flimsy ones. You'll see you guys have probably different ones at home. Whatever works. Okay. Moving on to the stove, right? Okay, we need stuff to cook on the stove. So a couple things that we'll have you use are pot and pan.
So you're gonna boil things like he was saying, noodles or pasta, you're gonna boil in this.
Mac and cheese, we use pots, things like that.
And then things like your grilled cheese that you made today, you're gonna use a skillet for.
So things that say fry, usually in a pan, boil, pot. Okay? So that's a quick intro into what we have here at the Connections class kitchen. We look forward to cooking with you guys, and have a good day.